Financial literacy is the ability to understand how money works in the world, how someone manages to earn or make it, how that person manages it, how he/she invests it, and how that person donates it to help others. More specifically, it refers to the set of skills and knowledge that allows an individual to make informed and effective decisions with all of their financial resources. Raising interest in personal finance is now a focus of state-run programs in countries including Australia, Canada, Japan, the United States and the UK. The Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development started an intergovernmental project in 2003 with the objective of providing ways to improve financial education and literacy standards through the development of common financial literacy principles. In March 2008, the OECD launched the International Gateway for Financial Education, which aims to serve as a clearinghouse for financial education programs, information and research worldwide. In the UK, the alternative term, financial capability, is used by the state and its agencies. The Financial Services Authority in the UK started a national strategy on financial capability in 2003. The US government also established its Financial Literacy and Education Commission in 2003. International findings. An international OECD study was published in late 2005 analyzing financial literacy surveys in OECD countries. A selection of findings included: in Australia, 67% of respondents indicated that they understood the concept of compound interest. Yet when they were asked to solve a problem using the concept, only 28% had a good level of understanding. A British survey found that consumers do not actively seek out financial information. A Canadian survey found that respondents considered choosing the right investments to be more stressful than going to the dentist. A survey of Korean high school students showed that they had failing scores, that is, they answered fewer than 60% of the questions correctly, on tests designed to measure their ability to choose and manage a credit card, their knowledge about saving and investing for retirement, and their awareness of risk and the importance of insuring against it. A survey in the US found that 4 out of 10 American workers are not saving for retirement. Yet it is encouraging that the few financial education programs which have been evaluated have been found to be reasonably effective. Research in the US shows that workers increase their participation in 401 plans when employers offer financial education programs, whether in the form of brochures or seminars. However, academic analyses of financial education have found no evidence of measurable success at improving participants' financial well-being. Additionally, a growing number of financial literacy researchers are raising questions about the political character of financial literacy education, arguing that it justifies the shifting of greater financial risk to individuals from corporations and governments. Many of these researchers argue for a financial literacy education that is more critically oriented and broader in focus, an education that supports individuals better understand systemic injustice and exclusion rather than one which understands financial failure as an individual problem and the character of financial risk as apolitical. Many of these researchers work within social justice, critical pedagogy, feminist and critical race theory paradigms. Asia Pacific Middle East Africa. A survey of women consumers across Asia Pacific Middle East Africa comprises basic money management, financial planning and investment. The top 10 of APMEA Women Mastercard's Financial Literacy Index are Thai 73.9, New Zealand 71.3, Australia 70.2, Vietnam 70.1, Singapore 69.4, Taiwan 68.7, Philippines 68.2, Hong Kong 68.0, Indonesia 66.5 and Malaysia 66.0. Australia. The Australian government established a national consumer and financial Financial Literacy Task Force in 2004, which recommended the establishment of the Financial Literacy Foundation in 2005. In 2008, the functions of the foundation were transferred to the Australian Securities and Investments Commission. The Australian government also runs a range of programs to improve the financial literacy of its Indigenous population, particularly those living in remote communities. In 2011, ASIC released a national financial literacy strategy, informed by an earlier ASIC research report, Financial Literacy and Behavioural Change, to enhance the financial well-being of all Australians by improving financial literacy levels. The strategy has 4 pillars: education, trusted and independent information, tools and support, additional solutions to drive improved financial well-being and behavioral change, partnerships with the sectors involved with financial literacy, measuring its impact and promoting best practice. ASIC's Money Smart website was one of the key initiatives in the government's strategy. It replaced the Fido and Understanding Money websites. ASIC also has a Money Smart teaching website for teachers and educators. It provides professional learning and other resources to help educators integrate consumer and financial literacy into teaching and learning programs. A number of Australian universities offer financial literacy subjects, such as Monash University, Macquarie University, the University of Western Australia and the University of Melbourne. The No Risk network of web and phone apps, newsletters, videos and website was developed by insurance membership body ANZIIF to educate consumers on insurance and risk management. Saudi Arabia. A nationwide survey was conducted by SEDCO Holding in Saudi Arabia, to understand the level of financial literacy in the youth. The survey involved 1,000 young Saudi nationals and the results showed that only 11% keep track of their spending, although 75% thought they understood the basics of money management. An in-depth analysis of SEDCO's survey revealed that 45% of youngsters do not save any money at all, while only 20% save 10% of their monthly income. In terms of spending habits, the study indicated that items such as mobile phones and travel account for nearly 80% of purchases. Regarding financing their lifestyle, 46% of youth rely on their parents to fund big-ticket items. Fortunately, 90% of the respondents stated that they are interested in increasing their financial knowledge. In response to the massive need in Saudi Arabia for a program that teaches people how to manage their money more effectively and to change their perception towards money being an infinite resource, SEDCO Holding, as part of their corporate social responsibility, launched a program that addresses this need. This first pillar of SEDCO's CSR program endows residents, citizens of KSA, with financial knowledge through its flagship program Rely. Through this pillar, 50,000 individuals will benefit over the next 5 years. They come from different walks of life: college students, high school students, and low-mid-income employees. SEDCO launched Rely for university, college students during September 2012. It teaches basic financial skills such as budgeting, saving, and dealing with credit cards, thereby endowing pupils with vital abilities required to make wise financial decisions in daily life. Rely is given in colleges and universities through a series of workshops of 3 hours each and covers 4 modules: savings, budgeting, investing and borrowing. The material is very interactive and has a series of exercises and group activities that make it engaging. Singapore. In Singapore, the National Institute of Education Singapore established the inaugural Financial Literacy Hub for teachers in 2007 to empower school teachers to infuse financial literacy into core curriculum subjects, to embed pedagogically sound activities to engage students in learning. Such day-to-day relevant and authentic illustrations enhance the experiential learning to build financial capability in youth. Integral to evidence-based practices in schools. Research on financial literacy is spearheaded by the Hub, which has published numerous impact studies on the effectiveness of financial literacy programs and on the perceptions and attitudes of teachers and students. A longitudinal study on the impact of financial literacy education on attitudinal and behavioral change is ongoing. The baseline study on financial literacy in Singapore schools 2008 ninths involved more than 6,000 students and 1,000 school teachers. It is the vision of the Hub to empower educators to equip their students to be financially savvy so as to make informed decisions and exercise discipline in managing their personal finance. The Hub is committed to spearheading high-quality education programs with research embedded for continual improvement so as to provide evidence-based practices. The Singapore government through the Monetary Authority of Singapore funded the setting up of the Institute for Financial Literacy in July 2012. The institute is managed jointly by MoneySense and the Singapore Polytechnic. This institute aims to build core financial capabilities across a broad spectrum of the Singapore population by providing free and unbiased financial education programs to working adults and their families. From July 2012 to May 2014, the institute has reached out to more than 24,000 people in Singapore via workshops and talks. Some of the topics covered in these workshops and talks include: making sense of your money. Financial planning begins now. Do I need every type of insurance? Are you borrowing too much? Building your nest egg. Managing CPF money for your retirement. Introduction to personal investing. Buying a home within your means. Introduction to estate planning. Understanding basic health insurance schemes. Europe. Belgium. The FSMA is tasked with contributing to better financial literacy of savers and investors that will enable individual savers, insured persons, shareholders and investors to be in a better position in their relationships with their financial institutions. As a result, they will be less likely to purchase products that are not suited to their profile. The United Kingdom. The UK has a dedicated body to promote financial capability, the Money Advice Service. The Financial Services Act 2010 included a provision for the FSA to establish the Consumer Financial Education Body, known as a CFEB. From April 26, 2010, CFEB continued the work of the FSA's Financial Capability Division independently of the FSA, and on April 4, 2011, was rebranded as the Money Advice Service. The strategy previously involved the FSA spending about £10 million a year across a 7-point plan. The priority areas were new parents, schools, young adults, workplace, consumer communications, online tools, money advice. A baseline survey conducted 5,300 interviews across the UK in 2005. The report identified 4 themes. Many people are failing to plan ahead. Many people are taking on financial risks without realizing it. Problems of debt are severe for a small proportion of the population, and many more people may be affected in an economic downturn. The under 40s are, on average, less financially capable than their elders. In short, unless steps are taken to improve levels of financial capability, we are storing up trouble for the future. There are also numerous charities in the United Kingdom working to improve financial literacy such as MIMC, Credit Action, the Talking Economics Project, Citizens Advice Bureau and the Personal Finance Education Group. Financial literacy within the UK Armed Forces is provided through the Money Force programme, run by the Royal British Legion in association with the Ministry of Defence and the Money Advice Service. North America. Canada. In 2006, Canadian securities regulators commissioned 2 national investor surveys to gauge people's knowledge and experience with investments and fraud. The results from both studies demonstrated there is a need better to educate and inform investors about capital markets and investment fraud. Education in this area is particularly important as investors take on more risk and responsibility of managing their retirement savings, and a large baby boomer population enters the retirement years across North America. In 2005, the British Columbia Securities Commission funded the Aaron Mortgage Study. It was the first systematic study of a single investment fraud, focusing on more than 2,200 Aaron mortgage investors. Among other things, the report identified that investors approaching retirement without adequate resources and affluent middle-aged men were vulnerable to investment fraud. The report suggests investor education will become even more important as the baby boomer generation enters retirement. United States and America. Much of the nation's financial education resources are run through a national non-profit organization called Jumpstart Coalition. Jumpstart Coalition. Each state, in turn, has its own chapter organization that holds events and helps members promote financial education to youth. The U.S. Treasury established its Office of Financial Education in 2002, and the U.S. Congress established the Financial Literacy and Education Commission under the Financial Literacy and Education Improvement Act in 2003. The Commission published its National Strategy on Financial Literacy in 2006. The Jumpstart Coalition has championed personal financial literacy in the United States since as early as 1995. While many organizations have supported the financial literacy movement, they may differ on the definitions of financial literacy. In a report by the President's Advisory Council on Financial Literacy, the authors called for a consistent definition of financial literacy by which financial literacy education programs can be judged. They defined financial literacy as the ability to use knowledge and skills to manage financial resources effectively for a lifetime of financial well-being. In 2007, the Institute for Financial Literacy established an annual awards program to promote the effective delivery of financial products, services and education by acknowledging the accomplishments of individuals and organizations that advance financial literacy education. In 2013, winners included Allstate Insurance Company in the category of For-Profit Organization of the Year, and the iGrad Financial Literacy Platform in the category of Best Educational Product in Debt Management. Success coach and entrepreneur Elizabeth Donati has developed an educational game called The Money Game in an attempt to teach children and teenagers skills for obtaining financial literacy. The Council for Economic Education conducted a 2009 survey of the states and found that 44 states currently have K-12 personal finance education or guidelines in place. Due to differing criteria, the Jumpstart Coalition only considers 24 states to have a component of personal financial education required. Results from the Jumpstart survey of personal financial literacy indicate low levels of financial literacy among American youth. Additionally, automobile finance companies and retailers provide consumer education through Americans well informed on automobile retailing economics. Also, Northern Illinois University started a campus-wide financial literacy initiative in 2009 with a program called Financial Sense. Financial Sense provides college students at Northern Illinois University with the tools and knowledge needed to make sound financial decisions during their college careers as well as after they graduate. Other public and private universities across the United States have implemented similar financial literacy programs. In July 2010, the United States Congress passed the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, which created the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The CFPB has been tasked, among other mandates, with promoting financial education through its Consumer Engagement and Education Group. The current approach to informing adults is typically from a deficit perspective, with the educator seen as the expert providing the knowledge to the passive student. However, the recommended approach would incorporate a transformative learning framework as per the National Endowment for Financial Education's quarter-century project. The transformative learning model is the most established within adult education. Within this framework, adults embark through a psychocultural process of acquiring new or revised interpretations of financial beliefs and attitudes that inform and shape new perspectives and behaviors. In addition, according to COAL, it is suggested that financial education be provided to adults so as to correlate with their readiness to change, as in Prochaska-Real's trans-theoretical model of behavioral change. Financial social work is a transformative learning model that was developed by Rita Wolfson, CMSW, at the Center for Financial Social Work. While it originated in 1997 from Wolfson's work with women as feminomics, it expanded in 2005 to all individuals, regardless of gender. Financial social work is a multidisciplinary psychosocial approach that helps individuals examine and re-evaluate their money thoughts, attitudes and beliefs, and as it increases self-awareness and self-esteem, it empowers individuals to establish long-term healthy money habits leading to greater financial security. The National Financial Educators Council, a financial literacy resource company that provides financial education resources, training and promotions. The NFEC provides financial education services, the Certified Financial Education Instructor Program, financial literacy curriculum, financial education events, turnkey financial literacy programs and consultation services to people from all walks of life, via events held globally.